first of all, I have to tell you that I am very happy and proud to meet you.
Oh, thank you very much.
And this guy too, because he's a very big fan.
Oh, thanks very much.
So we are happy.
Nice. What's that Bob Dylan pin? That's
That's
Tarantula, the book. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you read it?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
I tried many times.
It's hard. It's
to-
a tough read, yeah.
We're gonna talk maybe about Bob,
Sure.
if you don't mind.
Anytime.
My personal hero.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
My first concert.
Me, really?
Yeah.
It's mine first
Yeah,
as well.
I read it. That's why I told you.
What year was your first concert?
It was I was 9. It was in '81.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
It was
a gospel.
No, right after it was the album was Street Legal.
Street Legal, okay, yeah.
Wait, Street Legal or Sam? No, Sam was before.
Yeah, probably Street Legal.
Street Legal.
You okay?
No. So can you tell me who's Jack White?
Who is Jack White?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Is he a real guy or is he a character?
I think he's both. He's both a real guy and a character. I think that once your children are calling you Jack White, I have children now, so he became a real person, you know. Yeah, it's hard to define, but I mean that's sort of like the names you're given when you're born. You know, who knows if they're the right names you're given. So it's nice when people get to choose their own name. When you're a Catholic, if you're raised Catholic, you have this thing called confirmation, and they let you pick your own name as an adult, like, as if you were baptizing yourself in a way.
Because I remember an whole Bob Dylan interview, and he was saying to the journalist, "Do you think it's easy on the morning when I'm shaving and looking at my face in the mirror and say, oh, I'm Bob Dylan, so what can I do today? What Bob Dylan has to do?" Is it the same for Jack White?
It's sort of you're reminded who you are by other people. You know, you don't think about it at all. I don't feel sort of male or female or anything like that. You just sort of feel like an entity, and then other people remind you, oh, by the way, we think you're this, and then it becomes your job to sort of play with that, I guess.
Do you believe in electricity?
I do. It's a good question. I really do. It's sort of something that it seems kind of magical at first. Almost like when you're playing electric guitar, it almost feels like you're cheating, like you're not supposed to be doing this. Like a guitar is supposed to be an acoustic instrument. And I know that I've met several people who only listen to acoustic recordings. You know, they only like music before electrical recordings were made. It's a very small group of people on planet Earth, but they exist. You know, but I do believe in it. Yeah.
Many people, and I think they're wrong, said that you are some kind of vintage musician. Do you think you are born at the right time, at the right place?
Sometimes I don't think I was born at the right time, but I do think that a lot of times I have made a point to do something that's unpopular just to try to prove a point to everybody at that time. Like when digital recording became so popular, it was sort of my job to say, hold on, that's not exactly the best way to record something. Think about this, you know, don't just abandon these things. Like how Hollywood now, there's very few movies being made on film and they're being made digitally. And you can say there's a lot of good things about it, but there is something beautiful about real film. And I think when I make statements like that, people think, oh, then you hate all new technology. It's not true though. I have an electric car, I drive a Tesla, I do emails, I listen to streaming on Spotify and Tidal, and so, you know, I love technology.
Back in the 20th century, black musician born in the south of the United States, go to north, and it affects to Detroit, to Chicago, and it affects the sound of their music. You did the same thing, but in the other way. Exactly. So what's the impact on your music?
Well, the actual impact for me personally was just the exposure to so many musicians that live in Nashville, and they to be able to play with them and record music and the productions I was working on. You could call up a fiddle player or a pedal steel player, and they would just be there in seconds. The whole town of Nashville is just full of musicians. and a lot of them are country and folk musicians. So that took me to the sort of like the closer version of, the white version of blues. The southern blues is country music basically, for the white side of it. So it's sort of like got me a whole new angle from the sort of the dirtier John Lee Hooker side of blues, John Lee Hooker and Son House side from Detroit,
How important is the place where you record music, and do you believe in ghosts that are living in studios?
I don't believe in ghosts, actually. When I was younger, I really did believe in ghosts a lot. I thought it was a humongous part of everyone's life. And I think Carl Sagan just changed my opinion about a lot of things, about pseudoscience and about superstition and things. And I think that's helped me reevaluate how I look at life and how I write and how I create, and to think more scientifically about how things are done, how sounds are made, how vibrations are made, to learn about them. When a lot of people make music and sing and listen and enjoy that beauty, but have no concept of how your eardrum works or how your vocal cords work, or what is sound and what vibration is and what frequencies are. You don't have to learn that stuff. You can enjoy it for its own merit. But it does take a whole new angle if you learn all those things, and it brings a whole new dimension to it.
Many people compare you to Willy Wonka. I don't agree. I understand why.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I maybe compare you more than, or are you afraid to become sometimes a kind of John Hughes? With all of the activities you have, musician, producer, record seller, record maker.
Yeah, all the stuff I've been involved with over the years, I've never planned it. I never planned to do any of it ahead of time. It all sort of just happened. Everything at Third Man Records, all the bands I'm in, the Dead Weather, the Raconteurs, they're all just things that sort of just happened, and I let them happen. I didn't get in the way, say, we're not doing that. I have my own plans. I just allow things to kind of come into my world, and if it makes sense, if I can create something within and make it beautiful, I just try to let it happen.
Do you think a musician like you, but in general, musicians, got duties?
Have duties and responsibilities? Yeah, I think when you call yourself an artist, you're taking on responsibility. Maybe some people, when they say I'm an artist, that means, oh great, I don't have to work anymore. I've got it made, whatever.
But do you feel to be part of, like a big tree, a musical tree?
Oh,
there are roots, there are leaves.
Yeah.
Where are you? Who are your branch?
Where you come into a family, whether you like it or not, you're joining a long tradition, a family that goes back thousands of years, and we're only in the first 100 years of electrical recording where you could actually hear yourself played back. This is only the first century of that, and who knows what it will be like 500 years from now, even 100 years from now. Where do I fit in? I really don't have any idea. I think it's for probably other people to decide, but I definitely feel like I'm rooted in the blues. Whatever sounds I make, whatever they sound like, if they sound like funky or punk rock or prog rock or whatever words people come up with, to me it's all the blues, I guess.
For you, is it important to unseat your fans when you are making a new record, like with this one?
I'm not so sure. You do what you think is right, and then hopefully they will relate to something in it. If you could write a hit song or write something that people would definitely love, I think people would do it all the time. It would be easy, but it's not easy. You don't know what people will like. The songs I write, a lot of times it's the one or two on the album I think people won't like it, and that's the one everyone says, oh, that's the song I like. It's like Murphy's Law. You have no idea what it's going to be like.
When you are making music, how do you manage the intellectual part and the instinctive part of yourself? Or maybe there is no intellectual, or maybe...
Yeah, I think that every moment is a balance. Like, how much do you do here? How much do you write here? How much time do you spend writing this part or playing that part? How much role as a producer, how much role as a performer do you play? You have to make decisions every moment as you're doing something, and it becomes that stuff starts to become exhausting. And you can see how some people can spend 9-12 months working on an album because you get wrapped up into these bizarre loops. So I usually try to have a lot of restraints on me that keeps me going quickly and progresses to the next step fast.
But when you make music, do you surprise yourself with your sound? So with this new record, does it sound as you expected or as you thought prior to the recording?
It sounds unexpected to me. That I didn't have any idea what the record would sound like or the songs would sound like, and I'm very excited about it because when I started to mix it, it sounded very wild and something I'd never done before. Song by song, were very, very different, and that's a really wonderful thing for me as a songwriter to try to get somewhere new. Then you have to decide, well, will other people like it? And then you just have to say, I don't know. You just have to put it out and see. And if they don't, oh well, you know.
Everybody knows the Jack White, the musician, Jack White, the producer, Jack White, etc., etc. But you've got, I think I have read it, another activity. You do steel gates, doors. You know.
Welding.
Who is that guy? Can you talk to me about that?
Oh yeah, he's. I'm not so good at it, but yeah, Bob Dylan's a welder, and he makes gates, and he works with a lot of cast iron, and I just asked him to teach me how to weld a little bit, and he just kind of gave me the rundown, and sort of gave me the initial instructions on the different types of welding and how to go about it. But I'm an upholsterer by trade, so it's far from me. I usually work with fabrics and sewing machines and padding and stuff. So and I do like to work with carpentry and with wood. So that's a whole new world of construction I'd like to get more into as I get older. You know.
Does Bob Dylan have an influence on your music?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, he's
the way he does music, you know, and never making what people's waiting for him from him.
No, he's a humongous influence. I mean, he's a father of mine. Really, I look to him like that. He's a mentor, a father, and always will be. And I've been very, very connected to him since a young age to what he does and how he does it. And it's like and I've been an apprentice. When I was an upholsterer, I was an apprentice to a master. And I apprenticed to a lot of people when I was a teenager. I looked up to a lot of people. I had a lot of mentors. And some of them you don't meet, you don't know, like the Dylans and people like that. And there's people that in your own neighborhood that you learn from. I always was attracted to the idea of older people relating information to me. So,
historians usually said that the 20th century starts right after the First World War. Can I say that the 21st century start with this new record?
That would be nice, yeah. We did, around the turn of the century, we were playing when I was in the White Stripes. So I was trying to feel out what is the blues of the 21st century, and what does it sound like? And the songs we were writing at that time, Hardest Button to Button and 7 Nation Army and Ball and Biscuit. I was trying to feel like this feels like blues from right now. But maybe I was wrong, or maybe we were right. I don't know. Maybe you have to wait a while to see. But yeah, I definitely feel like the new record I've made, the Boarding House Reach record, really feels like it's from 2018 for sure.
Are you afraid to not be modern? For you, is it an issue to? No,
I very much always look at my what I'm doing is if I have anything that's old or antique that's involved in what's going on with me, it's taking something I think that's beautiful from the past and mixing it with something with the new and trying to come up with something new out of it. The best of the old and the new blended together, finding some sort of synthesis. This new record really it lays heavy on the modern side of the sound of now, very much so. It's heavier on that and less on things from the past. But I never like to emulate old things and say, oh, I want this song has to sound just like George Jones in the 60s or something. There's no point in doing that. It's just sort of dead to try to live like that and create like that.
In July you will tour Europe and France, and you will play again at the Olympia Theatre. With your fame, you could play bigger venue around the world. For you, is it important to continue to play human-sized theater?
I do really love Olympia. Is one of my favorite places to play on earth, really, and I just love the connection with people there. And it's a wonderful place, the Bataclan, the Olympia, the wonderful place where you can really breathe the same air as everybody and see. And I've always worked well in smaller clubs. In bigger arenas where people are farther away, it's a little bit tougher for me.
Bigger arenas are for soccer or football, and the supporter sings la 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 la.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that works well.
You were not very happy with that. I read you wanted to pursue them. to go to the tribunal?
Maybe. Oh, I think maybe
Was
something about
for-
Trump.
for
I think
royalties?
Trump. I think Trump used it for something. That was what it was. But the sports people using it, I'm fine with it. I think that's great because it becomes folk music. It becomes its own thing. People are chanting it in crowds. They don't know who wrote it or where it came from. They just know the melody, and that's beautiful. I mean, that's exactly what you want as a songwriter. You want it to just disappear and become owned by, human beings, humanity. You want them to own your songs, and that's a wonderful thing. Been very lucky with that. Because you can't force that. You can't pay for that. That has to naturally happen. People have to naturally choose to do that. So that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Nice questions.
Thank you. Can I ask you to send me
Oh, of course,
a couple of records?
Yeah, sure. You want your microphone back?
Take the mic.
Yeah, sure. There you go. Thank you, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vous pouvez venir.
And do you accept that I do a photo?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You want to take it?
Yeah, sure.
Or you want to just take it?
No,
you want
no,
to get together?
just you and one together
Oh,
after.
okay, yeah.
Oh,
It's for the show, for the...
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Robin?
1, 2. All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to take one too? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Allez. My two guitar heroes.
An old camera, can I take a picture?
Sure, of course, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Here, I'll take it. Oh. Okay. Thank
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
You ready?
Thank you very much.
Just going to take a
Yeah.
photo.
Oh, okay.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, well, let's do one at a time.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sure, yeah.
We actually
Thank
gotta
you,
go.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Can I
you.
just ask you to sign my vinyl?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to mark. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sorry, go. Ça va, faut descendre en bas? Bah, je sais pas. Il y a un truc pour finir, là. Ah oui, en bas. The stutter button on your new guitars.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah, stutter,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
It's working out nice. Thank you.
Have a nice night.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Done. Photo avec Jackie.
Non?
Bah,